Well, during his visit to Jammu and Kashmir on Thursday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with young startup founders. The Prime Minister had attended the Empowering Youth Transforming Jammu and Kashmir event in Srinagar. Let's listen to what some of them said about meeting the Prime Minister.
Coming back to India, I decided let me do something for my people, especially for the women folk in Kashmir. So I started this venture for empowering women of Pulwama district. I belong to a small village of Pulwama. So the women over there, they are quite capable with skills, good skills. So to make them economically independent, to give them good life, I started with this venture.
Yeah, the impact has been good. We are a social enterprise at heart, and we started with a team of 2 people. Now we are a team of 25 people. Plus, we are adding more members day by day. People are using our e-bikes like anything, and to be honest, the lower strata of the society is benefiting immensely from our eco-friendly and affordable e-bikes, and they have been the main beneficiaries of our startup.
Cheese Cottage got a lot of hype because of its design, because our design is very unique. It's inspired by the European industrial age and loft design. So this is first of its kind in Kashmir, and soon it became a talk of the town, and a lot of Bollywood movies, series were getting shot in Cheese Cottage. So that's how it gained most of the popularity. And yes, we are trying to promote offbeat destinations for homestays, and this is how the whole, and we're using rainwater harvesting, solar panels, and we're using as much less garbage. We're not trying to litter around.
We are planning to set up the first digital forensic lab in Jammu and Kashmir, which will help the police officers to they will have an ease in investigating the cyber crimes and even monitoring the terrorism and terrorism activities related to digital devices and technology. We were appreciated by another command, and it was done on honorary basis. We did some counterintelligence tasks against some cyber attacks which were done, which were targeted on individually army personnel. So moreover, we have trained more than 300 police professionals. And we have been honored in Future Crime Summit as Best Cyber Initiative and Cyber Warrior of the Year. And the Future Crime Summit is one of the biggest cybersecurity conferences in India.
And to discuss more about the Prime Minister's visit to Jammu and Kashmir, we are joined by Aarti Tikku, who's a senior journalist and a well-known voice from Kashmir. Thank you very much, Ms. Tikku. Now let's put into context what the Prime Minister said, Jamhuriyat or democracy, and we look at it in the shadow of Article 370 and also from the point of view of stability that has built up in Jammu and Kashmir since it's become a union territory. Can you put that into context for us?
Sound in the background. I hope the technical team fixes that, but yes. In the meantime, let me try to answer your question. First of all, I think it is great that the Prime Minister has come to Kashmir on International Yoga Day, which falls tomorrow. And I think it's great simply because he's coming after the parliamentary elections are over. He's coming because soon after the fact that Jammu and Kashmir had a record voter turnout in the parliamentary elections. That itself signifies the change in the air in Kashmir Valley particularly. Let's not talk about Jammu at the moment, because Jammu, as we know, has seen a surge in terror incidents in the last few months. In fact, in the last few years, we know that the theater of terror has shifted across Pir Panjal. But as far as Kashmir is concerned, the fact that after 33 years, Kashmir voted in record numbers, the fact that after having seen insurgency, terror and disruptions for 33 years, the people of Kashmir came out in huge numbers to show their support to Prime Minister Modi's 2019 decision, which was to abrogate Article 370 and 35A and reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir state into 2 union territories. I
Right.
think that was a big plus, and that was also in a way endorsement of the central government's decisions that have been taken in the last 5 years with respect to Jammu and Kashmir, not only political decisions but also developmental decisions. The fact that 60,000 crore rupees have been invested in 53 projects, whether it's about rail or roads, healthcare, education, so many projects which are still under process.
Yes.
And that is itself showing that people in Kashmir are certainly for this peace that has prevailed in the last 5 years. We saw
Right.
dramatic reduction in terrorism. We saw dramatic reduction in stone pelting, in rioting, in the kind of violence we were used to in Kashmir for 30 years. So I
Indeed.
think overall, if you really look at the fact that Prime Minister has arrived on the eve of International Yoga Day, and he will be doing yoga with the Kashmiri youth tomorrow morning here in Srinagar, where I'm actually talking from. I'm also in Srinagar, and I think it's a big message, not just for the country, not only for Jammu and Kashmir, but across the world. It's a message that Kashmir has turned a page, and it is now ready for being as healthy and as I would say prosperous as any other part of the country.
Yes,
And
right.
it's also showing that youth are enthused by development and peace, and certainly opportunities which are quite promising for
True.
the
So
valley.
you've talked about development and peace. Let's put that into context as well. You know, the development projects worth about $400 million have been inaugurated or laid the foundation stone. And that's, I mean, today I'm talking about. But there are otherwise projects that have already been, you've seen them coming up. The highways, there's the world's highest bridge for the railways. All this has totally transformed the region and also bringing in a lot of tourists into Kashmir. How does this, I mean, how did the locals look at this in terms of opportunities and prospects for the future?
Well, you know, I have traveled across Kashmir Valley in the last several months, and I've spoken to scores of Kashmiri Muslim youth. I've spoken to scores of people in trade, in tourism sector, and I can tell you with confidence that most people are looking forward to greater opportunity because of the fact that peace has prevailed in the last 5 years. There are business opportunities coming up, and people are, in fact, people are looking forward to the prevalence of what has emerged ever since the abrogation of Article 370. Lot of people, lot of youth have told me that they would like to see a lot of untapped areas which are tourism wise have great potential. Have told me that they are looking for facilities and opportunities where they are self-reliant and they do not have to go out from their own villages or their small towns to Srinagar, or go out of the valley to look for jobs. And they also have expressed appreciation of the fact that, you know, for 30 years, because of insurgency and terror, there were hardly any opportunities. Business investors, businesses, industrialists were keeping away from this place, and there was zero interest in fact, developing any sector. But
Yes.
today, as things have improved in the last 5 years, youth do understand the need for privatization. The youth do recognize the need for bigger investment into different sectors, whether it's hotel industry, whether it's infrastructure industry, whether it's small scale industries, people are very hopeful, and
Okay.
people have moved on from the era where you would have young kids going to the streets and pelting stones. There was this era where you would see young kids getting killed in clashes with the security forces. That no longer actually has any currency in the valley today.
Okay.
Most parents are happy that their children are going to school and college and universities freely and fearlessly, and they do not have any insecurity about their life and prospects in their careers.
Yes, Ms. Tikku, the Prime Minister interacted with young entrepreneurs or startups, and so there is an entrepreneurial zeal. You did talk a little bit about that just now, and there are opportunities. But the Prime Minister also provided appointment letters to some of the youth. It's clearly given the message that the government is there to support ventures as well as to provide opportunities. How do the youth look at this in terms of developing the economy beyond the traditional sectors such as tourism and horticulture?
Well, certainly, as I said, that youth are hoping that there will be newer avenues and there will be newer sectors which can be developed. A lot of youth are interested in services sector also. A lot of youth were telling me that healthcare, for example, could be a huge sector in Kashmir, given the weather, given the cleaner air, given the fact that lot of Kashmiri youth do invest in education, especially streams like medicine and even engineering. So they are certainly looking ahead and desiring privatization. In fact, a lot of youth that I spoke to were seeking similar facilities, like, for example, in dentistry,
Right.
that youth who have have studied dentistry do not have the same kind of opportunities that a
Yes.
young dentist would have in Delhi or any other big city in India. Likewise, youth are interested in they have the same aspirations as the youth of the rest of the country. They are no
Okay.
different. They want to excel in civil services. A lot of youth are now preparing for UPSC. Lot of youth want to move out of Kashmir for better opportunities, not because
I'll
of
cut in
fear.
at this point. We run short of time. Thank you very much, Ms. Tikku. Thank you for your time and for putting this all into context. And we're all looking forward to the International Day of Yoga program tomorrow in the morning. Thanks very much for being with us.